And here we are at another Fish Eater Friday. I noticed a comment, which is actually a question over on YouTube on my video, is the Novus Ordo Missae valid? Which I posted some time back. And I'll quote, "And exactly how was Mass celebrated before the Council of Trent? The Tridentine Mass only covers 450 years of the 2,000 years of church history. In any case, it still exists. You can get the Tridentine form in almost any Catholic diocese." Well, I'm going to disagree with several things there. But the first thing, and it's a good question, how was the Mass celebrated before the Council of Trent? I think there's a misunderstanding here. It's not like the Council of Trent ordered the writing of a new Mass. Instead, the Mass had been celebrated in the same way as we celebrate it now in the Catholic Church, what is called the Tridentine Mass. It was celebrated that way clear back to the time of Gregory the Great and even before. The liturgical principle is that we don't change things. In fact, from the time of the apostles, yes, prayers were slowly added. But at a certain point, you celebrate Mass the same way the bishop before you celebrate Mass, and the bishop before him. And that's why the rites of the Church, both Eastern and Western, have remained unchanged, with some minor exceptions, from the first centuries of the Church. And the reason the Council of Trent intervened in the Missal is that in some places certain abuses had entered into the use of the Missal, and this was to be corrected. Any rite that did not exist 200 years prior to the Bull Quo Primum in 1570 was abolished. Any rite, any usage. Now some are retained, like there's a Dominican usage. There is one in Milan, for instance. There's the Sarum usage, which has fallen into disuse because the priests that came in after Henry VIII celebrated Mass according to what we call the Tridentine Mass. And so the Tridentine Mass is not like a new Mass. It's simply the same Mass that was always said, only any abuses that had crept in were taken out. And these happened more locally. It was not like a universal problem, even. The Novus Ordo Missae, on the other hand, is just what it says it is. It's a new order of the Mass, and one that people doubt its validity. And that's the answer to that question. Now, this person also asserts that you can go to the Tridentine Mass in almost any diocese. Untrue. The John the 23rd Missal of 1962 is close to the Tridentine Mass, but it is not the Tridentine Mass. By the addition of John the 23rd by John the 23rd of St. Joseph into the canon of the Mass, the canon has been changed. Something has not been since the time of Gregory the Great. In fact, Gregory the Great canonized, set in stone the canon, and he added a phrase, not even a whole sentence, to the canon. And there was a big uproar. I don't know why there wasn't an uproar in 62 when St. Joseph was inserted in the canon. So you cannot get the Tridentine Mass. You can get a close approximation of the Tridentine Mass. And it's called the Indult. But then the question arises, is it being celebrated by priests or laymen? Because you have to address the matter of the new rite of ordination. But simply, the Novus Ordo Missae is a departure from liturgical tradition. It is a departure from liturgical principles that have been in place for 2,000 years. And that's one reason to object to it and reject it completely. And so I hope I've answered your question on this Fish Eater Friday. God bless you.